My name is Siti Alifah Tamir, and my co-writer is Mina Elfira. We are from Faculty of Humanities, Indonesia University. In this video, we would like to present our research about patriarchal motherhood and monstrous feminine in Gillian Flynn's novel entitled Sharp Objects. Gillian Flynn itself has published 3 successful novels. Her first novel is Sharp Objects, published in 2006. Her second novel is Dark Places, published in 2009. And her third novel is Gone Girl, published in 2012. All 3 of them has been adapted into TV series and movies. And the similarities from these 3 novels is talking about family. Especially from her first novel, Sharp Objects. This novel is talking about Camille's family. She have her not-so-loved mother named Adora, and her never-met stepsister named Emma. From this novel, Adora's motherhood and her representation is quite interesting to discuss. So, we try to analyze her first novel of Sharp Objects with how patriarchal motherhood still exists and the complexity of monstrous feminine shows in novel Sharp Objects. And the methods we use in this research is descriptive analysis. To see the patriarchal value of motherhood and monstrous feminine, this research is using Elaine Showalter's theory of feminist literary criticism and Barbara Creed's monstrous feminine concept. From close reading and analyze the data, then we find the conclusion in the end. Talking about family. In this modern era, we can see several new methods to build a family. Start with single parents until the B parents. Of course, the reason they have is personal, but this new perspective to build a family is fascinating. Looking back to patriarchal concept of family, we know the gender role is controlling the concept. A father have a job and working to get the money. A mother have a role to raise the children and cooking for her family. And for the children are to grow up healthy and obey their parents. We rarely discuss about motherhood, perhaps because it's a sensitive topic. What if the mother didn't get the perfect score in motherhood? Yes, monstrous feminine plays a big role here. For the example, the tale of Maleficent. The story told us when people don't understand, they just blame the witch. So does in Gillian Flynn's novel Sharp Objects. The concept of monstrous feminine is within. Patriarchal ideology constructed women as monstrous and abject. The term of monstrous feminine was found by Barbara Creed's research on the depiction of women in literary works. The term of monstrosity refers to the maternal body and femininity of women which are constructed as something terrible in the patriarchal ideology. The analysis. Our first analysis is talking about patriarchy and motherhood. From several quotes in Sharp Objects, we choose these quotes to get analyzed. A brief story of Adora. She was born and raised as a precious daughter from a strict family, especially her mother Joya. The strict rules itself successfully adapted from generation to generation. As we can see from quotes above, the perception and expectation about motherhood is one way to cover the patriarchal concept by idealizing the motherhood. This dichotomy tends to simplify women's experiences and subjectivity, so that's why women are easily affected with negative stigma. Therefore, both the social environment and individual expectations require women to prioritize being a good mother, even though they have to sacrifice themselves. As previous finding and explanation, one or other impact of patriarchal motherhood is the inception of Monstrous Feminine. Based from Barbara Critt's research about Monstrous Feminine, Flynn also shows these representations in Adara's character. An example is in the quotes above. In our analysis, Adara's figure is categorized as a monstrous mother as a result of expectation from the idealization of patriarchal femininity. At certain points and moments, there were significant contradictions in the text which question the patriarchal ideology. For example, how can Adara be defined with certainty as a mother who is monstrous when the motive for poisoning her child is to nurture and carry out her maternal duties as a whole? Her camouflage for being an angelic mother have been perfectly covered from the beginning of the story. She nurtured and raised her children carefully, but behind her good behavior as a mother, she revealed herself as a monster and killed 3 children, including her own daughter. Patriarchal motherhood and monstrous feminine can be found without feminist literary criticism. As female writer and writing about women in her literary works, Flynn's indirectly given the critics in her works, especially in Sharp Objects. From one of the quotes from the books, she's trying to say that something about motherhood and monstrous feminine. Flynn, as a female writer, tries to write about her femininity in her literary works. Flynn is given a glimpse criticism of women, especially Adara's character as a mother, who has given a birth traumatic experience for her child. After creating Adara as a figure who is demanded to be perfect, Flynn gave a new perspective of monstrous feminine, which in the end, women remain to be the losers in their role as mother. After analysis and finding patriarchal motherhood and monstrous feminine, in our conclusion from Gillian Flynn's novel Sharp Objects, the patriarchal motherhood shaping the mother behavior to raise their children, and when the mother not success or failed raise their children, they get categorized as monstrous. But Flynn's trying to obscure the monstrous by presenting Adara as an angelic mother. This is the new perspective about monstrous feminine that's shared by Flynn, as her criticism facing patriarchal ideology about motherhood.